Kia ora, it's Mike Atkinson. This presentation is going to look at different strategies to assisting a second up a pitch of a climb. So the context is that a leader has led up, created the anchor, and is belaying someone from the top of a pitch, and for whatever reason that the climber, the seconder, can't get past a certain point on the climb, usually the crux or the hardest part. There's a number of different strategies starting from simple to complex, and always emphasize, always start with the simple stuff first and move to the complex, work your way through more and more complex ways of getting them through that. The 5 different strategies for assisting a second up a pitch of a climb is beta or information on moves, especially at the crux. So if the climber can try and remember some of the crucial moves that will help the second, leaving a sling of success at a crucial point, prusking up a rope, assisted hoist, and the most complex, the unassisted hoist. The most simple strategy is to try and get some information on the hard part of the climb, if you can. And that can be from the person who's just led up, if they can try and remember some of the moves, some of the holds, where they place their feet, any secret holds that may be of use, and pass that on to the second. They can also glean some of the information off guidebooks and other climbers. Another simple strategy is for the lead climber just to leave a sling in either to a piece of gear or to a bolt clipped in next to the quick draw that they've clipped leading up. And that sling, so the lead climber has anticipated that the seconder may struggle at this point and has left that there for them to use or not use, and they can pull on it or stand in it to help them pass the crux of the climb. The next option is that the seconder prussicks up the rope. So this is assuming that they are carrying prussicks with them and they can't get past. So the belayer will just hold them locked off, puts the waist prusik on here, the medium length prusik on above the long one, and clips that into the belay abseil loop with a locking bina. And then the longer prusik, the leg prusik, goes below the waist one, and that hangs down, and they put your foot in that, stand up, slide the waist one up, and then just keep alternating your weight between the leg one and the waist one. Now, every 2 or 3 meters of slack that goes up the rope, then you want to stop and tie an overhand on a bight and clip that back into your belay abseil loop. That's just in case the prusik slips or loses its grip on the rope. You don't want to shock load the system of that 2 meters of slack. The next one is an assisted hoist. Now this is where the climber helps assist the belayer in hoisting themselves up. So to start off with, you have this image here just showing how you'd be set up normally, belayer in guide mode, with the dead rope here that the belayer never lets go of, and this rope here going down to the climber. So that's just how it would be set up to start with. The next step is for the belayer to tie an overhand on a bight just below on the dead rope, and then they can let go of it. This, again, much like when you're doing the lowering on guide mode, this is just in case the system slips, and it's only going to, if it slips in guide mode, it's only going to go as far as the overhand on a bight. So then, once you've got the overhand on a bight, then you drop that loop of rope with a carabiner on it down to the climber, the seconder, and they clip this bina, locking bina, into their belay abseil loop. Once they've clipped it into their loop, you both pull together. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, you both, the belayer pulls up on the rope coming towards them, and the climber pulls down on the rope that's coming towards them. And just check, the belayer needs to check that it's sliding through the device here, okay, because that's your locking system as part of that. And it's much easier if you pull together. Now the most complex or last system we're going to show you is an unassisted hoist. Now this starts off with the same step as the assisted hoist, where you first step is to have an overhand on a bite. This time, instead of dropping a loop down to the climber, the belayer attaches a clem hoist prusik on the rope that is weighted by the climber, and with a short tail. So if it's longer than a handspan tail, then tie an overhand in the prusik knot here and clip behind the overhand knot to shorten it. You don't need that long loop. So a short prusik or a long prusik that's tied off with an overhand. Clip the rope that comes from the overhand on a bite down into the bina here and back up to the belayer here. Keeping hold of the dead rope, the belayer unties the overhand on a bite here. And then the belayer pulls up on the rope coming up from the prusik, and that pulls the prusik with some mechanical advantage through the guide device here and should hoist the climber up. But it's quite hard work, so make sure you try and use your legs as much as you can when you're pulling up.